guys, it is time for another reaction video, and this one is going to be another one from Ren, and this is titled For Joe. If you're familiar with Ren and his past, he recently released a song called Suicide, and it was about his friend Joe who took his own life. I'm going to put up on the screen right now the description from this video, and if you want to pause it and read through it before continuing through the reaction, feel free to do so. But somebody told me I should read it myself before doing the reaction, and so I've already read it myself just to get a little bit more better understanding and meaning to the song. So yeah, I encourage you to read that before going forward. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. And I understand he's gonna be playing the piano in this one, so this will be my first time seeing him play a different instrument other than a guitar or bass guitar. So let's check it out.
It's hard to take off from the ground when your wings are cut. Your stomach burns when you're drinking from an empty cup. You know the entire ocean came from my tear ducts. I see the world through Fibonacci sequences and double Dutch. I guess there's some that's born lucky, there's some that's not. I tried to cut away my bitterness, hatchet job. I locked my youth inside the trunk, inside the pickup truck, then dumped that whole thing over that same bridge the night you jumped. I think about that sometimes, vividly. What it felt like to look down and see tranquility. One sudden movement in a world of possibility. Only one movement to expose our fragility. I fucking miss you, and I miss myself. I miss thinking we were indestructible as hell. I miss chilling by the pier cave and kicking back with Callum, Hugo, Justin, Sega, Stevie and the fucking lads. I miss missing that. I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. Distance is my plaster cast, to tell the truth. The day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find the anger. All I find is missing you, man, I miss you. With all my rhymes, I picture running 5 minutes quicker, I'm right on time. I picture pulling you back over the edge and then we're crying, and holding you, my brother, and telling you that it's fine, not the way that it worked. I was late like a jerk, there's not a day where I can find a way to break from the hurt. Your body missing, so we never got to wave to the hearse. I hope you're listening, I love you, man, I miss you, absurd, fuck. Another domino, it falls. Across the way another's born. How you're supposed to raise a child and give it courage from a storm. In a world that is confusing, contradictions pave our flaws. Some will say we're only human, others judge us for our flaws. Some get born in sheets of satin, some get by in tattered clothes. Some will die before they live, that's just how the story goes. But for those of us still with us, who reside inside our hearts, tell them proudly how you feel. And for those of us who aren't, freckled angels stand strong, freckled angels live on, freckled angels climb higher, freckled angels still inspire, freckled angels won't forget you, teach me to live my life better. 13 years and still I miss you, now my wings are missing feather. Otherwise I'd come and join you, but for now I'm here on earth, stuck inside this mortal body. But for everything it's worth, made me braver, made me wiser, made me stronger, made me true, made me face the world with courage, and that's all because of you. Freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings, they fly the farthest. So I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their minds, they are the strongest. Oh, their friends, they are the fondest. So I know you're gonna be okay.
Man, you could tell those last few lines was really difficult for him to get through. I didn't pause it on this one just because I just wanted to kind of have the full experience of the song. There's so much to talk about here. For starters, he plays the piano just as beautifully as he does the guitar. So it was interesting to get to see that from Ren. I know that's not all of this is about, it's just the instruments, but I just wanted to make sure to mention that before I forgot. The songs around Joe and based around Joe, maybe there's questions that will go unanswered, but like part of me wonders what was going on in Joe's life that he felt like suicide was the better alternative. There's all sorts of different depression, and there's all sorts of different reasons that might lead somebody to consider suicide. But it makes me wonder what battles he had in his life that he felt that was the better alternative. I said this in one of the other ones that I did. I don't remember if it was suicide or for God. I don't remember which one. But if you think that you have friends that are okay, you should still check on them, because often when people are depressed, they'll mask it and act like everything's all right. And so if you really care about people, there's people you want to keep in your life for the long term, make sure to communicate with them. Make sure to give them a call, a text, say hello, drop by, an email, whatever form of contact you can make. Let them know that they're appreciated and loved and that you care about them, because you never know what somebody's going through. You never do. Some people are more outward and open with their feelings and put it on display. And then there's a lot of people who are battling things that will never tell anybody that they're having these struggles and these battles. And those are the ones that you have to worry about the most, because you simply don't know what they're going through. And it seems like that may have possibly been, what was going on with Joe. Maybe he was masking and hiding everything up until the end. And that's what led him to take his own life. Suicide's a tough one. And it's like Ren said, that like when Joe jumped off the bridge, he killed his childhood too. He killed Ren's childhood, because every memory that he had that was attached to Joe, and the friends that were attached through Joe as well, now it's just too hard for him to, I guess, communicate with those people, because the memories that they have were attached to Joe. And then that takes him back down to the sorrow and sadness of losing his friend, right? So it's easier to detach and walk away from that life that he once knew, and move on to a new place so that he could continue on a moving forward path, instead of being held back by depression from the loss of his friend. At least that's kind of what I was taking from this. And that's another thing too, for people who are dealing with battles of depression, is you have to remember that if when you take your own life, you're not only giving yourself that exit, you're going to leave hurt and pain on so many others that do care about you. And while you'll be able to end your pain by leaving, you're going to open new wounds for so many others. I unfortunately have dealt with a lot of death throughout my life. As early as, the first time I lost somebody that was the same age as me was like the 4th or 5th grade. The second person I lost the same age as me was in the 6th grade, and that was a suicide. Collectively, I have somewhere around 12 to 15 people that I know personally that took their own lives. And it's not easy to deal with, and you try to think, like, was there somewhere that I went wrong that I could have prevented what happened? You never really know, so my thoughts are all over the place right now because I'm just trying to make sure, like, I want to cover everything. I'm not going to overanalyze the lyrics of this song and break down everything line by line. I'm just kind of telling you how it made me feel. And I'll probably be making a lot of phone calls today and text messages and finding ways to just reach out to my friends, my family, the people that I haven't talked to in a while, and let them know that I love them and care about them, you know. And if any of you happen to be watching this video right now that I know personally and we haven't talked in a while, I do care about you. I do love you, and let's connect again if we haven't in a while. Let's go do something. Let's get on a phone, whatever it is. Know that, you know, you're still in my thoughts all the time, even if we're not communicating on a day-to-day basis. As we get older, it gets tougher, right? It gets tougher to make time for people. You start growing up, you get married, you have kids, your job takes priority, all sorts of things that happen that allow that distance to grow further and further and further and further from the people you care about. So you don't want that distance to keep growing so that people become a distant memory, right? You got to keep them in your life if you care about them. So I'm sure there's some stuff I missed. I had a lot of thoughts along the way, but again, like I said, I didn't want to pause it. If you yourself are dealing with suicidal thoughts or depression, I encourage you to get help. There's a number of resources out there. Don't go down the path of suicide. Your life is worth more than that. So we'll end it here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.